Greetings, beloved Princeton United Methodist Church community. It's Pastor Jenny here, and I'm reading today from Acts chapter 4, verse 13. Peter and John, the disciples of Jesus, are standing before the council in Jerusalem, and here's what it says. Now, when the council saw the boldness of Peter and John and realized that they were uneducated and ordinary men, they were amazed and recognized them as companions of Jesus. This is the word of life. Thanks be to God. This past Sunday, we started a new worship series called Salt and Life, hearing Jesus' proclamation to us again. We are salt of the earth. We are the light of the world. We are a city built on a hill, illuminated so that the world can see. We're talking about the ways that we have been created uniquely, individually by God, and the ways that we each have gifts that have been given to us, talents, interests, experiences, wisdom that comes together to make us completely individual people. Yet we come together to become one body, to collectively be salt and light to this world, helping the world to become more alive, more like God's kingdom, more full, more illuminated, more flavorful, all these things that God delights in. And we don't have to do anything to do this other than be our most full, authentic, whole selves. We have already been created this way. We already are salt. We already are light. And over these next few weeks, we're going to continue to look at how each of us is made uniquely by God, given particular gifts and all sorts of things, and how we come together as a community to be salt and light in the world. But as we do that, we're going to be looking at different disciples throughout the New Testament. This coming Sunday, we are looking at Peter and John, mostly Peter, but John's there with him in this passage. And then we'll look to some others along the way as well. But we'll be looking at how they are salt and light, how they are using their gifts, their uniqueness, the ways that God created them to, again, make the world more luminous with God's love, with God's presence. I love what it says here about Peter. I'm going to read this line again, this verse 13 again. Now, when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and realized that they were uneducated and ordinary men, they were amazed and recognized them as companions of Jesus. On Sunday, we're going to share more about kind of the growth of Peter and how we get to see him over time. But this boldness, they are bold. And then the council realized that it's not because they're educated that they're bold. I do wonder sometimes, those of us, we live in a very educated kind of place, how often we rely on our education for our salt and our light more than the salt and light that come through God. Not that education isn't important, not that God didn't help provide it and all those things, but that there's something else. There's other things. There's a God who stands behind us, and that Holy Spirit spark that is within us, that is the source of our salt and light, our uniqueness, and all that we are able to offer this world. But even more I love about this one sentence. The council was amazed and recognized them as companions of Jesus. I wonder, and for our meditation today and in the next few days, how we might be recognized as companions of Jesus. Maybe it isn't our boldness, and a particular kind of boldness that Peter is displaying here, Peter and John are. Maybe it is in the compassion that we share. Maybe it is in the kind of leadership or the teaching or the faith that we are offering. Maybe it is a kind of generosity that we have. Maybe we have a healing spirit within us of the kind that others might recognize as Jesus. There are so many ways that we might be recognized as companions of Jesus, but I also don't know that we always think about this, right? How might we be recognized? Not for the sake of the recognition, but really for the sake of Jesus. Another way to say this is, how might people see Jesus through us? But I like this idea of being recognized as being companions of Jesus. Who do you recognize as companions of Jesus? How do you recognize that companionship? How do you see Jesus moving through them? And how do you sense it happens for you? Maybe this is something you want to pray about, to journal about, to sit with in silence. Maybe it's something you actually want to ask another person about and see how they see you, or see your Jesus companioning there. Maybe there's also an invitation for you to see what the invitation is that God has for you to become even more of a companion of Jesus in this season. So we'll talk more, of course, about being salt and light on Sunday and through this story of Peter and John before the council. But remember that there are lots of things going on in the life of the church these days. So many things are available to you. In particular, this Sunday is our fall gathering potluck. We're going to come to worship like normal at 10 a.m. and then around noon we'll gather at Mercer County Park West Pavilion. And you're welcome to bring something to share, a main dish, a side dish, a salad, any of those kinds of things. All different cuisines are welcome. We're delighted to share in this meal with one another. And also, in the next couple of weeks, different things are starting. So music groups have already started off, but it's not too late to join in. If you would like to be part of those, small groups are starting soon for adults. Some of them are kind of in the middle of, they're all kicking off. They're all starting in the next couple of weeks. So if you're interested in being part of a small group this next year, there are some that last for the academic year, if you will, through May, and then there are also some that are short term that you can join for just a little bit as well. And there is a newcomers group starting in just a couple of weeks as well on the 22nd of September. If you are newer among the church or are feeling a sense of wanting to kind of reacquaint yourself with discipleship or the church, please come, and we would love to have you there to explore more of what it means to be disciples of Jesus here in this place called Princeton United Methodist Church. Friends, it is always a joy and a privilege to be on this journey with you. Remember that we are enough because God is enough. Remember that you were created for joy, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.